If your Goldwing handlebars are starting to have a little loose while maneuvering at low speed, well, this video might be for you. Alright guys, welcome back to this new episode. Well, in my hand I've got the magic part. It's the Traxxion Dynamics tie rod. It is very sturdy and it's there to replace the defective tie rod from Honda. So for the past month I've been noticing on my bike that there's a little sway on the handlebar. Especially when I'm stopped, I can move the handlebars left and right and the wheel is not turning. There's a little gap that is bothering me. So this is perfectly normal. It's the wear and tear of the original Honda tie rod. So this part's supposed to prevent that. It's really easy. I'll show you how to install it and to be on your way back riding. Like I've shown you on a previous video, you don't need to take apart the whole bike to access the tie rod. You just need to know the shortcut, and it's really simple. You just need to pry those two plastic cover here, and on each side there's one push pin here and here and two Allen bolts that you need to remove, and then you'll be able to push forward the console and flip it over and rest it on the gas tank, and then you'll have an easy access on the handlebar if you need to work on your crown nut or on the tie rod. Just make sure that you cover your paint while doing this so you don't scratch it, and also be very careful while removing some of these nuts and push pin, because the bike will eat them up. As you can see, you have access to the push pin and the Allen bolt. So I usually put a screwdriver or something to shove it under so it doesn't fall back on those on that axis. Now you just need to do the same thing for the other side. Now that these pins and bolts are removed, carefully place a rag on your gas tank and push forward the front console, and then it will flip over, just like so. Then you'll have easy access to the handlebar. You remove those two Phillips screws and the cover will come off really easy. So that's how you get access to the steering column and the handlebars. Be sure to check your crown nut if it's not loose. Like I've told you before, mine on the first year, I had problems. It was so loose that my handlebar was swaying up and down. And when I got to the crown nut, I could easily turn it with my hand. So there's another procedure on that if yours is loose, or bring it to the dealer to have it checked under warranty. And you can see here the push pin is already installed. That's the Traxxion dynamic push pin. This is just a safety feature. I doubted that the steering columns, or the, I don't know how to call it, the spindle will break, but it's a safety feature and I'm fine with it. So we'll be changing the right side tie rod. The left side is only a safety device in case a failure of the right side. And to get access to this, you need to remove the cover on top here. You get access to the nut. And for this nut here, you will have to move forward, push forward the handlebar. So by removing this bolt, and loosening this one, you'll be able to push it and get an easy access on this one. For these two bolts, you need a 14 millimeter socket. And like I said, you remove this bolt and loosen this one. Don't remove both of them. Then it gives you access. Just tighten the bolt back so it doesn't slide while you're working on this nut. So for those two top nuts, you need to use a 17 millimeter socket, and also a 14 millimeter wrench, so you can hold the nut on the bottom here. You simply put the 14 millimeter wrench underneath this part and underneath here, and with the 17 millimeter ratchet, then you untighten those two bolts. The hardest part of this procedure is to get the 14 millimeter wrench in the correct spot so it doesn't spindle endlessly. That's the most difficult part. If you have a small or a thin flat wrench, that would make it easier. So this is how you remove a defective tie rod. So just to show you how ineffective the left tie rod is, see the sway movement and the nut that's moving. Like Max said, it's just for safety feature, just in case something ever happened. But it's only the right side tie rod that controls the steering. So with the tie rod in hand, I put back the washer that was on the original tie rod, and you just put it back into place. What I like to do is put a little bit of blue Loctite, just as a safety precaution, so that the nut doesn't loosen. Now it's time to tighten everything back into place. Now let's see, after everything has been tightened, if there's still a little slack in the handlebar. Oh my God, there's no movement at all. It's direct, no slack in the tie rod. Simply amazing. Great job again, Traxxion Dynamics. what a difference one part can make on a bike. I'm telling you guys, there's no movement at all. I didn't think it would make that big of an improvement, but can't wait to go riding on with this part installed. If there's one part that you need to buy for safety or for comfort while driving, it's this one. I recommend it 200%. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you like this installation. Don't forget to go to Traxxion.com if you need to purchase this tie rod. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.